Well, folks, it's that time of year again, and you know what that means.
Time for spooky stuff?
Time for spooky stuff.
Oh boy, I love this time of year. I'm so happy I could just dance.
Happy Halloween, my little friendly friends. Since it's October, as of recording this video anyway, I wanted to do something special. So today we're going to be talking about spooky games. Specifically, spooky non-horror games. And more specifically, games that are otherwise normal, but have parts that are spooky, scary, or otherwise unsettling. So I won't be talking about games like Majora's Mask, since that entire game has an unsettling vibe. And there's constantly shit like this happening. Oh yes, just what every Zelda game needs. Nightmare fuel. Not to mention, the entire time there's this creepy-ass moon constantly looking at you like it wants to grape you in the mouth.
Open wide, kids!
Anyway, without any further ado, let's get on to the spooky non-horror games. Toree 3D is a game. Toree 3D is a cute game. Toree 3D is a spooky game. Toree 3D is a 99-cent game. And you know what? It's also a surprisingly good game. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but for 99 cents you can do a hell of a lot worse. Gameplay-wise, it takes inspiration from Sonic the Hedgehog and the fact that your goal is to get to the end of the stage as quickly as possible. It even has a ranking system much like Sonic Adventure 2 and the games following. Also, the music in the final level slaps for literally no reason. But you might be thinking, this is just an adorable little game with an adorable little chicken with adorable little sunglasses. What's so spooky about... Oh. As it turns out, this game is 90% cute and adorable, and 10% creepy and demented. This game was developed by Krow, a company well known for making dirt cheap games that are still somehow better than some of the AAA garbage that comes out these days. And it actually originated from a PC game called Haunted PS1 Demo Disc, which certainly explains why it's the way that it is. There's also a sequel simply titled Toree 2 that's much of the same, and even an upcoming title called Toree Saturn, which I'm actually pretty excited for. But enough about Toree, let's move on to the next game. This is Beeny, yet another game developed by Krow Games, where you play as a bee named Beeny. Beeny is a Super Nintendo-inspired vertical platformer with graphics and music straight out of Donkey Kong Country. And there's really nothing out of the ordinary here, just simple vertical platforming goodness. That is, until the game decides to go all Silent Hill for literally no reason. Dear Krow Games, why? But that's Beeny, ladies and gentlemen. Like Toree, it's a cute and nostalgic game that's also cursed. Speaking of cute and nostalgic games that are also cursed... Enter A Hat in Time, a GameCube-inspired 3D collectathon platformer by Gears for Breakfast that was supposed to come out in 2013, but came out in 2017. Better late than never, I suppose. In this game, you play as an adorable little girl named Hat Kid. A kid in a hat.
Ooh, I bet they were feeling real clever when they came up with that name. Maybe we should start calling me Skeleton Mask Man and Xander Controller Dude.
The game has Wind Waker-esque visuals, but with gameplay akin to 3D Mario. And you can collect various hats, all with varying abilities. There's also a few fun and interesting scenarios, such as fighting off mafia men or solving a murder on a train. But then you end up in this spooky forest where you have to sign a contract with the Shadow Demon and do whatever he says in order to get your soul back. And in this same forest, there's a place called Queen Vanessa's Manor. And this is where things get pretty intense. Oh! Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm an insomniac. I wasn't gonna sleep tonight anyway. But why though? In this mission, you have to avoid this demon ghost woman named Vanessa, or else she'll catch you and, I don't know, eat you for breakfast or something. I thought it was Gears for breakfast, not children for breakfast. You sick fucks. Anyway, that's it for this fun yet demented-ass video game. On to the next one. Super Paper Mario is the third entry in the Paper Mario series, and it's quite different from its predecessors. Unlike the first two, which are turn-based, not unlike Super Mario RPG, this one combines the RPG elements of the first two with the more traditional gameplay of Super Mario. And despite its major shift in gameplay, I actually think it gets far more hate than it deserves. Sure, it's not as good as the first two, especially the Thousand Year Door, but for what it is, I think it's actually pretty solid. And it retains the humor and goofy scenarios that the series is known for. But this game gets dark. And I mean really dark. Now, I'm going to be getting into spoilers for this game, so go play it yourself if you don't want it spoiled, but for those who already played it or don't care, there's this part where Mario and his friends literally fucking die and end up in purgatory. Now, when you first get there, there's really nothing too unsettling. Sure, it's got a dark atmosphere, but there's really nothing that out of the ordinary. That is until you have to go underwater and end up in a place called River Twigsbed, a place where these spooky white hands are trying to grab you and kill you. And just listen to the music in this place. I guess when Satan isn't punishing the souls of the damned, he's a part-time composer for Nintendo. No, seriously, listen to some songs from the Earthbound soundtrack and tell me I'm wrong. Speaking of which... Earthbound, or Mother 2 as it's known in Japan, is a light-hearted turn-based RPG where you play as a group of kids trying to save the world from an alien menace. This game is well known for its unique charm and rather strange sense of humor. And for the most part, it retains a pretty goofy and light-hearted tone, with occasionally strange or somewhat unsettling moments, but nothing outright terrifying. That is until you reach the final boss and the game is suddenly like... Oh good. Just what every other JRPG was missing. Trauma. And that is exactly what this boss is, but more on that in a bit. This is easily one of the most terrifying final bosses in existence. I mean, look at it. What the fuck am I even looking at right now? And if that wasn't enough, as you cause damage to it, it goes through multiple phases, each more fucked up than the last, until it's literally nothing but static. And to defeat this thing, you literally have to pray for your safety. It takes divine intervention to stop this monstrosity. And then when you finally defeat it, it starts screaming in agony. But yeah, as I was mentioning briefly before, this boss is pretty much the physical manifestation of trauma, and the story behind it's actually pretty interesting. Apparently, when coming up with this boss, the developer Shigesato Itoi remembered a traumatic event from his childhood where he accidentally walked into the wrong movie. The movie in question being a Japanese horror film called, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly, Kinpei to Bada Bada Shibijin. And the scene he just so happened to walk in on was a scene of a woman getting strangled to death, which traumatized him so badly it literally scarred him for life. Now you might be wondering how a scene of a woman getting strangled inspired this. Well, if I had to guess, I'd say he wanted to come up with something that would invoke the same feeling of dread he felt when walking in on that movie that fateful day. And you know what? It fucking worked! So thanks, Shigesato Itoi. Thanks for the nightmares. Anyway, that's all I have for today, so if you want to see more...
Wait!
What?
You should talk about Lavender Town.
No! That's been talked about to death. I'd just be beating a dead horse.
Wait a minute. Are you scared to talk about Lavender Town?
No, of course not. I just don't want to.
Hey everyone, point and laugh at the scared sissy boy who doesn't want to talk about Lavender Town.
Will you cut that out?
Oh, look at me. I'm Xander, a crybaby sissy boy who's scared of Lavender Town. Ooh.
Fine.
You're gonna do it?
Yes, if it'll make you stop having sounds come out of your dumb cake hole.
Oh yay! Xander's gonna talk about Lavender Town.
I think by now it goes without saying that Pokemon was and still is a cultural phenomenon. Sequels for days, trading cards, merchandise out the ass, PETA accusing it of promoting animal cruelty. And there was also a popular anime series that's still going to this very day. But we're going back to where it all started. Pokemon Red and Blue on the Game Boy. The idea of this game, and all the ones following, is actually pretty lighthearted. You're playing as a kid who leaves home to become a Pokemon master. Your goal is essentially to collect as many of these creatures called Pokemon as possible, and have them fight other Pokemon. Rinse and repeat until the game's over. But that's okay, because Pokemon like fighting each other, and it's a nice bonding experience between Pokemon and Pokemon Master. And Pokemon never die, they only faint when defeated, and you take them to the Pokemon Center and they're no worse for wear. Right? Then we get to Lavender Town, a place I'm sure you've heard of by now. But you get there, and this somber and somewhat unsettling music is playing in the background, and immediately you can tell that something's off. Turns out this place is a Pokemon graveyard. Yes, for dead Pokemon. And the spirits of those dead Pokemon are haunting the place, and also possessing people. And those possessed people attack you. There's even a person who asks you for blood. Oh, no thanks. I prefer to keep my blood in my body, thank you very much. And if that wasn't enough, you come across this little girl who asks you if you believe in ghosts, and you have the option of answering yes or no. And if you answer yes, she's like, really? So there are believers. But that's not the creepy part. The creepy part is if you answer no. I guess not. That white hand on your shoulder, it's not real. Ha! Nice try. I think I'd know if there was a white hand on my shoulder. Silly kid. And despite being such a small part of the game, this place is rather infamous and has spawned countless creepypastas and legends. Okay, for real this time. That's all
Wait!
What now?
Hi.
Hi. Anyway,
Wait!
what the hell could it possibly be this time?
Can I do the outro?
Sure.
That's all the spooky content we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see more content like it, make sure this video gets lots of views, otherwise Xander might lose confidence and stop posting for a month. And consider checking out Xander's non-rip-off channel, Xander Rose. It used to be Gothic Gaming Geek, but he changed the name for whatever reason. Oh well, these OCD types are unpredictable. You never know what they're gonna do. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.